Regardless about how you feel about the loss of the headphone jack in the next version of the iPhone, here are 5 tips to help you get along without your beloved headphone jack. Just a short preface here, this video is being made before the next iPhone drops, probably on September 6th. But two of the best Apple insiders, Peter Kafka and Walt Mossberg, were pretty much all but confirmed that Apple is getting rid of the headphone jack. So I really wanted to make this video now so that you have time to prepare for the loss of that headphone jack. RIP headphone jack. The easiest solution for most people is probably just going to be go out and pick up a cheap pair of Bluetooth earbuds. A lot of the best Bluetooth earbuds can be had for under $50 these days. The downside with the Bluetooth earbuds is the sound quality really is never going to be great. The good news is that Bluetooth will leave your lightning port open so that you can charge your phone and listen to music at the same time, which, as we all know, is pretty important because if you have an iPhone, probably going to be charging that thing quite a bit. If you want to take a step up in sound quality, I recommend buying a pair of Bluetooth over-the-ear headphones. The real problem with these, however, is that they can be pretty expensive. The pairs that are really worth it are going to run you at least $100 these days, and you have to look for them pretty hard to find them on sale. So I use the 950BTs by Sony, and you can usually find those for $100 if you look really hard or if you wait for them to go on sale. But the average retail on those is between $150 to $200. I did a review on those, and if you want a more detailed description on them, you can find them in the link below or somewhere on the screen. So with the removal of the headphone jack, that means no more passing the aux cord. It's kind of a bummer to me. I feel like that's really how our generation kind of shared music to an extent. Like I think back in our grandfathers and grandmothers' days, like they probably had jukeboxes at like a bar or whatever. I think our parents probably had like mixtapes. And I think our generation really was like that physical thing of plugging in an aux cord at a party and hearing people play all kinds of different music. And that's not going to be a thing anymore with a 3.5mm headphone jack taking out of the iPhone. I think there is one workaround to this, however. I think you can pick up a Chromecast audio. For those of you who don't know what Chromecast audio is, it's basically a dongle that you can plug into any pair of speakers that will allow them to stream music over Wi-Fi. Now, some of the benefits of streaming music over Wi-Fi is that it's going to have better sound quality, it's going to be a better connection, so you don't have to worry about losing the connection if you go too far away from your speakers or if your phone goes too far away from the speakers. And you can stream the speakers on multiple floors if you pick up more Chromecast audio. So that's a real big gain in benefits there, as opposed to just having your standard speaker or trying to connect over Bluetooth. Now, some of the pain here is that it is really kind of just more of a pain to share music this way, as opposed to doing the simple, like visceral process of just passing an aux cord. So that's still kind of a bummer. It's more of a hassle, but it is the best workaround that I can really think of right now. And it will be better than Bluetooth. Speaking of dongles, I really, did I mention really hate dongles. They cost too much and you tend to lose them all the time. You have to keep buying them. And it kind of promotes this world that Apple and Google are kind of separating us and that we have to have all these adapters to fit into our lives. And that's kind of just simply really kind of just a pain in the ass. But it is going to be one of your simpler solutions here. I think one of the reasons that you would pick up a dongle with a lightning port on one end and a 3.5mm plug on the other is that you have something that you really cherish, say a pair of headphones or a pair of speakers that you don't want to get rid of and you don't want them to become obsolete. Dongle can really help solve that problem. So I think that's really the solution in that case. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the pain point here really is going to be that Apple tends to overcharge for all these things. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a dongle that really takes Apple 3 cents to make cost about $10 because that's usually the going rate with that kind of stuff with Apple, if not more. The other thing is you're probably going to keep losing them, so over your lifetime you're going to be buying multiple of these, and that's kind of really just sucks. Last but not least is probably going to be something that's going to be a new product for Apple, and that's a pair of Lightning earbuds, and these will probably be what's in the box with the next iPhone. Good news with Lightning earbuds is they're pretty frustration-free. You don't have to dig into any menus and worry about connecting things and losing connections. All you have to do is simply plug them in and play just like you do a regular pair of earbuds right now. The bad news is that if your Lightning earbuds are plugged into the Lightning port, you're not going to be able to charge your phone and listen to music at the same time, which is definitely kind of a pain, especially with the iPhone, which batteries tend to wear down over time. That's not really a secret over there. So that's going to be kind of a pain. I think people are going to be pretty frustrated by that. The other downside really is that lightning earbuds don't solve a lot of problems here, because you're still going to have things like your speakers in your car and in your house where you're going to need to buy an adapter to get around and still be able to use those things. So that's going to be a frustration for a lot of people. I have a lot of mixed feelings about Apple getting rid of the 3.5mm headphone jack. I think if there were going to be some trade-off, some benefit that we would gain right now that would be worth it, I think it will be worth it. Unfortunately, I don't think Apple is going to be able to provide enough benefit there to make the frustration of losing the headphone jack really worth it. But let me know what you think about Apple getting rid of the 3.5mm headphone jack in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video, guys. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, it's been real.